Hello, I'm Sam, an artist studying design, a Buddhist, Jew, a human with human problems. I'd like to reach out to you today to talk about the power of drinking tea and how tea has helped me manage trauma. The Chinese way of drinking tea is known as gong fu cha, which translates to the skillful way of brewing tea. It entails using a lot of leaves to a small amount of water and brewing them multiple times in a small pot, seeing the flavors of the leaves develop and transform. Practicing gong fu cha every day builds discipline, and discipline, as we know, often builds stability. It forms you to be in the present, feeling the heat of the clay, smelling the scent of the dampened leaves, seeing the color of the syrupy liquor, and tasting the complexities of what's been brewed. We drink out of small cups. This slows the whole act down. It forces you to take your time and trains you to appreciate each sip. It's almost like a meditation. When you practice meditation every day, weird things start to happen. At first, you can obtain a cleaner interaction with the subconscious, and as time goes on, you may begin to see things more truthfully. My teacher Sangharajta once said, "To know that we do not know is the beginning of wisdom." As humans, we tend to label things. If it's raining here in the UK, we have to stay in, don't we? And complain that it's raining. Miserable weather? No. Miserable person. If, say, a Sainsbury's delivery driver outside wakes us up early in the morning, our day is ruined. You know. Yet if a small robin bird outside our window wakes us up, we don't mind. Same outcome, we wake up at the same time for both, yet for one we question, why would someone deliver food this early on a Thursday? It makes no sense. Our lives apparently are full of bad timings. But really, to live is to be able to put up with bad timings. So we label things to relate our ego to those things. Our mighty egos won't let anything go without getting labeled. We almost have to have ownership over everything we experience. This converts just being into actually experiencing, living. Our self-esteem is terrified of losing ownership. As a painter, the very act of creating art is for my ego to fight death by creating things to live on. But you know, labeling all the bad things in your life isn't actually an unhealthy thing. In fact, I think it's a great survival instinct. In this world, though, we are professionals at seeing what's wrong in the world, yet the counterbalance needs to be addressed equally. Gratitude is the best medicine of all. It really is. And it's free. What's great about mindfully drinking Gong Fu style is that your focus transfers off yourself like a flea and onto your tea. Gratitude then kicks in automatically. For the past 4 years, since I was 16, I've been dealing with depersonalization disorder, a greatly understudied disorder, which makes one feel completely detached from their bodies, as if they're looking at themselves going through life from the sky. It has been extremely challenging, yet I've found ways of dealing with it. The more you meditate, the more you see yourself from the outside. It brings on a dissociative aspect to your experience, a higher state of consciousness. Now, I see depersonalization disorder almost as an express lane to feeling this altered state. As scary as it is, it reduces the ego for sure, and I'm grateful for that. You lose nearly all sense of self, self-value, recognition. Sometimes it really does take losing your mind to come to your senses. You've got to let go of attachment from stories we tell ourselves. If you ever make an assumption about yourself or someone else, drop the story. Look again. The most common forms of suffering stem, I'm afraid, from our egotism. We have to think less about ourselves. I really believe that the number one most important thing in life isn't happiness, but instead connection more than ever. Organisms are born to spread and form connections as a way to survive. The Buddha said, friendship is not half of the spiritual life, it's the whole of the spiritual life. So for your homework, next time you're out on a walk, all I'd like you to do is just to say hello to someone, acknowledging their presence. It does so much. It's much harder, isn't it, to feel sad or stressed when your focus is on how those around you are doing. And lastly, I advise you to form a practice of stillness, even for just 10 minutes a day, through having a time for mindfully drinking tea every day, or a time for just sitting. By nature, over time, you will be maintaining awareness, taking control over your fluctuating egos, and realizing what's needed in today's world. Thank you.